The entire internet now spreads a rumor. If one's phone battery is low, one will definitely encounter a horror movie. Is this not just a pure coincidence? The narrator, on the other hand, believes the moment one's phone battery is low, one will definitely encounter the narrator's content. Today, the narrator presents a large-scale human nature horror film, Cecilia. Just because her best friend urgently needs to use the restroom, Cecilia floors the accelerator, speeding up to 180 miles per hour, instantly activating Fast and Furious mode. She then slams on the brakes, and her best friend, who forgets to buckle up, flies directly out of the car window. As on the extent of the broken glass, it seems her close friend was quite seriously injured, but it didn't stop there. She drove over the friend. Why did Cecilia treat her best friend like that? Everything begins with a chance encounter from that day. Cecilia is a relatively unknown psychological counselor and influencer. She has hundreds of thousands of followers. She usually enjoys counseling others, but she cannot counsel herself. This statement is a key point. One day, while shopping at the supermarket and preparing to check out, she is horrified to discover that the blonde woman in front of her looks like Emma, her best childhood friend. Cecilia quickly turns away, fearing recognition. But in the end, she is still recognized. After a long time apart, they miss each other greatly. Emma immediately invites Cecilia to her engagement party tonight. Cecilia feels awkward refusing. After all, they were good friends who played together as children, but later went their separate ways for some reason. Now, they coincidentally meet again. She wonders if they can rekindle their friendship. And Emma is very shocked after learning Cecilia has become an influencer. Sitting in the car, Cecilia recalls childhood memories. She and Emma buried a time capsule. Thinking of this, Cecilia feels very happy. The wind on the way home feels sweet. Evening arrives. Cecilia arrives as promised. The two of them drink and have a very happy time. And Emma asks Cecilia if she was free the next day since it was the weekend, and if she would to go on vacation with her. Cecilia does not hesitate and immediately agrees. She says yes. Soon, the party ends. Cecilia prepares to go home. In the car, she scrolls through Emma's social media and is horrified to discover something. Emma is still hanging out with Alex, who frequently bullied her during childhood. The two travel together, participate in various activities, and share a very close relationship. Emma even captions a photo with best friends. Now, Cecilia becomes worried. She wonders if Alex will go on vacation tomorrow. If Alex goes, it will be a reunion of enemies. This is because, at that time, Cecilia was constantly bullied by Alex. Emma also does not intervene with Alex. This leads to Cecilia, one day, being unable to bear it anymore. She picks up a shovel from the ground and strikes Alex in the face. She disfigures Alex. Since then, Cecilia and Emma never contact each other again. This incident also leaves Cecilia with deep-seated psychological trauma. When solving problems, she easily resorts to extreme actions. At this moment, Cecilia does not overthink it. After all, it is all in the past. Since she has already agreed, she cannot go back on her word. Even if she really goes on vacation, perhaps she can still mend their relationship. After returning home, Cecilia begins to prepare. She first digs out the time capsule. Then, when morning arrives, she dyes her hair her favorite green color from childhood. Soon, the group drives off. On the way, they chat and laugh. Cecilia, however, appears somewhat out of place among them. Through their conversation, she learns the place they are going is Alex's home. This makes Cecilia recall unpleasant childhood memories. Back then, Alex bullied her in front of Emma, and the group arrives at the location. They hastily get out of the car. They do not wait for Cecilia. They do not even leave the door open for her. When Cecilia finally enters, she finds them laughing and chatting. They also take a group photo together. They completely disregard her presence. It is as if she does not exist. Upon Cecilia's appearance, the cheerful atmosphere instantly freezes. Learning that Emma invited her, Alex grabs Emma's hand and pulls her outside. She asks why Emma invited Cecilia, wondering if Emma is unaware of their past conflict. Emma explains that she just mentioned it casually and did not expect Cecilia to actually come. Emma's actions show a lack of emotional intelligence. Meanwhile, Cecilia actually dares to show up. The scar is clearly visible, tangible and undeniable, a lifelong mark of hatred that cannot be erased. The two of them can never reconcile. From Alex's perspective, Cecilia scarred her face. Alex has a scar for life. She claims she is the victim. She claims Cecilia is a violent psychopath and will always owe her. Alex does not openly drive Cecilia away. Instead, she targets her throughout. Afterwards, Alex tells Cecilia that she is very sorry, explaining that Emma did not inform her of Sissy's arrival. Oh, she makes her sleep on the sofa. Cecilia does not mind, as long as she has a place to sleep. Afterwards, the group sits together and watches television. Cecilia wants to use the restroom, so she asks them where it is. The group is completely engrossed in watching, talking amongst themselves and focusing on the television. They completely ignore Cecilia, making her feel quite awkward. She constantly tries to comfort herself. Afterwards, Cecilia takes out the time capsule and directly runs to the television. She decides to actively engage them since they ignore her. To put it bluntly, she just seeks some attention. Emma opens the box and can hardly believe it. A beautiful memory resurfaces. Afterwards, Cecilia also changes the television channel to a recording of their childhood. As they are watching, Alex suddenly turns off the television. It is time to eat. During dinner, Alex deliberately moves Cecilia to the furthest seat. They chat and laugh. They do not include Cecilia in their toasts and ignore her again. After a while, the group runs out of topics and starts discussing Cecilia, asking her what she does for a living. Cecilia feels embarrassed to say what she does. Before she can even speak, the big-mouthed Emma blurts it out. Cecilia is an influencer. She has over 100,000 followers. The others are very surprised to hear this. They eagerly ask what type of influencer she is. Cecilia says she is a psychological mentor who guides others. Seeing everyone express admiration for Cecilia, Alex immediately loses her composure and belittles Cecilia with a sarcastic tone. She claims that this type of influencer profits from other people's suffering. It is purely self-serving. After Alex finishes speaking, the attitudes of the others instantly change, and they also join in the mockery. This makes Cecilia feel quite awkward. She finds an excuse to go to the restroom. In reality, she goes to comfort herself. She opens her phone. She looks at the likes and follower growth data for her posts, as well as her fans' compliments. Only then does she finally find a sliver of solace. Because ever since that extreme incident in her childhood, no one has been willing to be Cecilia's friend. So she can only rely on these things to prove that someone needs her and that someone likes her. Cecilia feels distressed from being ostracized. Soon after, Emma also comes to the restroom and hurriedly offers comfort. She tells Cecilia to just endure it and not take what the other person says to heart. When morning arrives, Cecilia wakes up and is horrified to discover that the entire house is eerily quiet. There is also a note on the table, left by Emma. She picks it up and instantly understands. The note says they have gone out to play, claiming Cecilia was sleeping too soundly, so they didn't wake her. Cecilia thinks to herself that they found yet another excuse to isolate her. She wonders how she could possibly sleep well on the sofa. She has several nightmares throughout the night. However, Cecilia does not pay much attention to it. She quickly tidies up and prepares to go find the others. Soon, they arrive at the location. Just as she is about to get out, she hears the others talking about her again. No, that is not right. This is outright gossiping. Alex starts by saying, Cecilia is not good. She sometimes cannot control her emotions and is extremely radical. Do you see the scar on my face? She did it. Emma quickly retorts. If you did not bully her, would she have done that to you? Do not act like an innocent victim. After they argue for a while, they become a bit upset. Emma decides to go back inside first. The others follow her back inside. Now, only Alex remains. Seeing an opportunity, Cecilia walks up to Alex and apologizes. She admits she was wrong before and should not have acted that way. She suggests they let bygones be bygones and reconcile. Alex quickly tells her to stop her fake act, stating she is not falling for it. She declares reconciliation is impossible, calls Cecilia a lunatic, and vows to let all of Cecilia's fans know she is a lunatic. As Alex speaks, she pulls out Cecilia's phone, which she secretly took while Cecilia was sleeping and unlocked using her fingerprint. Alex then begins recording a video, claiming Cecilia is a hypocritical influencer and that the scar on her face is Cecilia's doing. She warns viewers not to be fooled by Cecilia's fake persona. Cecilia realizes this will ruin her reputation. She immediately rushes forward to stop Alex, and the two women begin to wrestle. Despite Cecilia's desperate attempts to stop her, Alex refuses to give up and is determined to upload the video to Cecilia's account. The video is moments away from being successfully uploaded. In desperation, Cecilia picks up a nearby brick and smashes it onto Alex's head. Finally, she stops the video from uploading. Afterward, Cecilia becomes extremely anxious, wondering what to do. However, Cecilia's behavior seems to reveal a split personality. First, after she realizes she has resorted to a fatal act, she is extremely panicked. Then she takes and puts on the necklace Emma gave to Alex. Afterward, she starts to feel self-satisfied. The image of Emma smiling at her appears in her mind. She seems to enjoy this expression very much. She even starts a live stream. Soon, Jamie, one of the group, arrives. He plans to water the trees. After wandering for a while, he chooses a spot with good feng shui, which happens to be Alex's grave. Cecilia sees this and realizes it will not do. Water dissolves in soil. He might discover it. She needs to distract the man. She feels anxious. Cecilia comes out. She asks him to go back with her. But at this moment, what Cecilia does not want to happen still occurs.
Fucking piss.
Sorry.
You're pretty.
You're pretty.
Shut up.
Should we go?
Seeing that things are not right, the man runs away. Cecilia rushes forward, wanting to explain. Finally, she forces the man to the edge of a cliff. Cecilia explains the whole story. She claims it is just an accident. She says she will not hurt him. The man sees that Cecilia is very emotional. She might actually hurt him, so he can only pretend to agree. He pretends to believe her. But at this moment, the man's partner arrives, and calls out to him. The man subconsciously responds. The next second, accidentally pushes the man off a 100-meter high cliff. The man's body is very strong, so he should be fine. Returning to Emma's side, she returns, only to discover in horror that Alex is gone. She calls her, but Alex does not answer. She is buried in the ground, so how can she answer? Later, Emma finds Alex's bag in a small stream. Just as she tries to pick it up, she accidentally falls and the current carries her away. She should be fine. Emma is a good swimmer. Now, the story returns to Cecilia. After killing 2 people, she completely panics. This is no longer about spending a lifetime in prison. She might face the death penalty. She begins to constantly reassure herself. She insists she is not a coward. Next, Cecilia takes out her phone. She once again checks her likes and follower count. It is 99+ again. Her emotions quickly stabilize. She returns to the villa. She finds Fran watching television. The clever Cecilia devises a plan. She scratches her arm with a branch. She claims Alex did it. Fran, with a dismissive tone, suggests Alex might be retaliating against her. This statement immediately angers Cecilia. She wonders why Alex would retaliate against her, believing there must be a reason. Fran senses something is wrong and tries to return to the living room. But Cecilia grabs her hand. She explains to Fran that she is fine and tells her to believe her. As she speaks, Cecilia shoves Fran. Fran falls directly into the bathtub. Simultaneously, the bathtub activates. The drain immediately sucks in Fran's hair. Just like that, Fran meets a tragic end in a horrific bathtub incident. She has now taken another life. Cecilia plans to drive away, but coincidentally, on the road, she encounters Alex's fiancée, Tracy. Cecilia asks him where Emma is. Tracy replies that she does not know. She asks if Emma is not Cecilia's partner. She wonders why Cecilia does not know her whereabouts. Saying this, Tracy starts to accelerate. Then the opening scene unfolds. Tracy also does not survive. Now, the story returns to Alex. She is not dead, she is merely unconscious. And Emma also miraculously survives. Now, the two of them plan to return to the villa. Cecilia decides to turn the tables. She arrives at the villa before them and begins to execute her plan. She plans to frame Alex for everything. She injures herself with her phone and then goes live to tell her fans. Alex is crazy. She wants to kill us. Now, several people have already been killed. Please help me call the police quickly. Saying this, Cecilia pretends to faint. When she wakes up again, she finds Emma has returned. Emma urgently asks what happened. Before Cecilia can explain clearly, she starts to look for something to wipe Cecilia's wound. As a result, she accidentally discovers Fran's body under the bed. At the same time, Cecilia also comes over. She tells Emma the whole story. However, Emma quickly discovers a flaw. The necklace Cecilia wears is the one she gave to Alex, isn't it? Seeing that the truth is exposed, Cecilia immediately knocks Emma unconscious. When Emma wakes up again, she is already tied to a chair, and her hair is dyed red. At the same time, the television is playing a video of her and Cecilia as children. Cecilia is already showing signs of mental instability. Cecilia takes a selfie with Emma on her phone, making heart gestures and other poses. After that, she plans to find the two girls' favorite nail polish from childhood. At this very moment, Emma uses the necklace to free herself from the restraints. When Cecilia approaches, Emma immediately tackles her to the ground. In a panic, Cecilia grabs a pair of scissors. She stabs Emma, forcing her to release her grip. Then, Cecilia explains to Emma that she did everything because she was forced. However, she now has a plan to get away with it. Upon hearing this, Emma unleashes a torrent of insults, even harsher than anything Alex said before. After speaking, Emma throws the time capsule directly into the fireplace. At this moment, Cecilia becomes completely enraged. She completely snaps. This hurts her 10,000 times more than being cursed at, beaten, or driven away. At this very moment, Emma dials the police. Then, a fight scene ensues. The two of them play a turn-based game on the table. They punch each other. But when Cecilia is hit, Alex suddenly comes in, picks up a stick, and starts hitting wildly without a word or even looking who it is. Cecilia is recording a video nearby, gathering evidence. Finally, Alex opens her eyes and looks. She realizes she hit the wrong person. Just as Alex is about to raise the stick to hit Cecilia, the police coincidentally arrive and she meets a fatal outcome when the authorities intervene. And just like that, Cecilia successfully gets away with it. All the deaths are framed and blamed on Alex. The scene changes. It is unknown how much time has passed. Cecilia gains countless followers because of that incident. She becomes a truly big influencer. She also publishes her own book. The movie ends here. How should one describe this movie? It is open to interpretation, and different people will experience different feelings after watching it. Some might find it satisfying, others might find it chilling. I believe it is a human tragedy and a realistic satire about a girl who grows up deeply wounded from childhood bullying and betrayal. Her trauma is completely triggered by reuniting with old friends and enemies, leading her step by step to extremes, and ultimately surviving through pretense. Alright, see you next time.